point of Operation Fly-by-Night is to test the relative efficiencies of the two submarine tracking systems.
How long do you think this exercise is going to take?
Dunno, 10 days, fortnight?
A fortnight?
When HMS Hero is pulled into a NATO exercise at the last minute, tensions below decks threaten to boil over and disrupt the mission in tonight's episode, Off Caps. HMS Hero is assigned to participate in Operation Fly-by-Night, a competitive test of two submarine tracking systems in cooperation with the U.S. Navy warship Monterey. Hero is a last-minute replacement for another Royal Navy ship that had to pull out of the exercise, forcing Commander Nialls to cancel leave for the crew once again. Even so, the officers are keen to give it a go.
Now, it's a pretty safe bet that the NATO navies will be converting to the one which proves the most efficient.
Not to mention the oil barons of the Middle East.
Right, so you may appreciate, gentlemen, there's quite a lot riding on the outcome of this exercise.
However, not everyone is excited by the news. Stores Accountant Rabbits, Bunny to his friends, gets the news that his pregnant girlfriend is unhappy and thinking of aborting the baby. Unable to return to Gibraltar because of Operation Fly-by-Night, Rabbits becomes despondent.
Why didn't you tell your divisional officer?
I didn't get the letter till after we sailed. What could he do? Stop the ship and turn it round?
Down in the Hero's engine room, Stoker Cutler, an arrogant loudmouth, runs afoul of his supervisor, Chief Slater, for cock-blocking him during their last shore leave. The feud between the two men escalates, and Slater reveals that his dislike runs deep.
Why don't you get off my back? Because you're sloppy and you're stroppy. And you're Scotch.
For his part, Cutler makes no secret of his desire to get revenge for Slater putting him on report for being 5 minutes late.
That man's got the real needle to me.
Has he? Well, you can tell that to the officer of the day, can't you?
Don't you worry. I will. And I'll tell you something else. Slater won't get away with it.
Hey, Cutler, let's be having.
And in case that was too subtle,
You never know what little treats the chief might have in store for you.
I swear to God, Barney, if that bastard rides me just one more time, I'll mangle him and his bloody engines.
on his next duty shift, Cutler leaves his post, supposedly to fetch some milk, but really to sneak off to the mess to play another round of uckers with his off-duty friends. In the time it takes Cutler to get from here to there, someone secretly pours oil dispersant into a bearing that supports the port engine's propeller shaft. Shortly thereafter, Cutler returns to his post, where he accidentally on purpose clocks Slater on the head. Slater reports him to the Master-at-Arms.
Master!
Yeah?
I want him crucified.
While Cutler is being hauled off after starting a fight, the propeller shaft bearing, called a plumber block, overheats and First Officer Beaumont orders both engines shut down. The chief engineer investigates and comes to a disturbing conclusion.
Well, I haven't had time to make a thorough investigation, sir. We shall have to strip it down for that. But it looks to me as though some oil dispersing agent must have been introduced. Because the oil's like water.
And you suspect what?
Well, to my mind, there is only one thing it could be, sir. Sabotage.
Master-at-Arms Heron immediately suspects Cutler is the saboteur, and Beaumont makes no secret of his dislike for the man.
Derek, do I get the impression that you want Cutler weighed off?
It's no concern to me, sir. Either way.
Good.
In fact, you mustn't forget, sir, that I know Cutler of old. We served together in the Brighton a couple of years ago, and he was always in a rattle for something or other. In my opinion, Cutler's a lout who's about to get his comeuppance.
Meanwhile, back in the third mess, Rabbit's friend Tolliver finds a can of oil dispersant hidden in Rabbit's locker, which Rabbits then removes. But Tolliver goes to Heron, who puts the pieces together and orders Rabbits arrested. Cutler is exonerated of the charge of sabotage and also of assaulting Chief Slater, while Stores Accountant Rabbits is found guilty of sabotage and leaves the ship in disgrace. At its core, the story of
Off cap.
is about how living in close quarters can sometimes turn the ordinary complications of everyday life, the challenges of newlyweds, say, or masculine rivalry tinged with a dash of Britannic bigotry, can quickly reverberate and escalate to a level of tragedy that can wreck a career. For a nice change of pace, the focus of
Off Cap
is not on the ship's officers, but on the enlisted crewmen in the third mess, whose personalities are every bit as colorful and distinctive as their upper deck counterparts, and in some cases perhaps even more so. Adding to the authenticity is the use of real Royal Navy soldiers in bit parts. For example, here's Nobby Clark, a crewman on HMS Phoebe, the real-life Leander-class frigate that played HMS Hero in many episodes. Manus Hardy, the writer of
Off Cap
is a pen name for Murray Hayne, a prolific television actor and playwright who appeared in many classic series from the 1950s and 60s as both a guest star and recurring cast member. Born in India in 1931, he joined the Merchant Navy as a young man and later did his national service in the British Army as a typist. After that, he decided to become an actor. He applied to and was accepted into RADA and pursued a career as a stage actor and playwright, with occasional stints as a furniture mover and a barman in between roles, before landing regular appearances in well-known British TV series such as Redcap, Armchair Theatre, and Crown Court.
Off Cap
Is his only writing credit for the series. One interesting side note, for many years Hayne was listed as a guest star in an episode of the first season of The Avengers, an episode called Tunnel of Fear. However, Hayne had to back out of playing the role at the last minute, and he was replaced by the actor Anthony Bate. By then, the TV Times listing for the episode had already gone to print, and it was too late to swap out Bates' name and photo in the listing. As a result, for over 50 years, Hayne was listed in books and episode guides as having appeared in the episode. While Hayne and Bate guest starred in many of the same series, they only co-starred together once in a 1959 episode of the comedy adventure series All Aboard. Hayne/Hardy's contribution to Warship is a memorable one, not least for having provided the show with some of its most inventive dialogue.
Smell it. Go on. Smell it.
Ever been lumbered?
He's had time to milk the bloody cow and condense it.
Yes, fairly amusing. You know, he really is a saucy sod.
Well, who was Captain Yankee Doodle trying so hard to convince? You or flag officer, sir?
Like the Dickens you will, you Charlie.
Seems a bit puffy a black wearing a necklace.
To help make match, suggest you bat first. How's that? Interrogative. Cricket. What interrogative?
Oh, Admiral Whimsy, sir? You so steamed up about Loftus.
In the next episode, a member of Hero's crew is blackmailed into spying for a foreign power. Will Commander Nialls be able to discover the crewman's secret before it's too late? That's next time on Did Somebody Say Frigate?